We are now live on Facebook, and it is Mortgage Monday, June 29th, with John Rondi. How are you today?
Doing great, Matt. Great weekend. Sun was out.
Yeah.
We are enjoying the summer now. It's here. Whether you like it or not, whether you're ready for it or not, go get a piece of your summer. So I know I'm ready.
Absolutely. And I think in the business side of things, it's interesting because usually this time of year, June 29th, June 30th, there's usually a ton of things closing. This year, we're still seeing stuff close, but it's not like a traditional year right now. But we are seeing a lot of things going under contract for later, maybe the end of July, August timeframe.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, whatever. I'm seeing similar things, but I'm also seeing a lot of short term, 30-day close, 45-day close. People that have trying to increase their odds of getting their offer accepted by changing the contingency dates and changing the closing dates and shortening that window up. So that's got us on our toes, to say the least.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, I'm sure your team is incredibly busy right now and trying to handle all those requests and doing all that stuff is quicker than normal. Can you hear me? Oh, there you
Wait,
go. There,
I lost the sound. How does that happen?
it's all good. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
I lost the sound.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. Great. Well, I can't hear you. Why can't I hear you? Let me see. Let me try to.
Yeah,
There you go.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Okay, so you're good. Yeah, no, I was just saying your team must be very busy with all of these, kind of different requests than you would normally have if they're doing 45-day closings.
Right. No, it's constraint. It's contracting quickly on a lot of things and changing the ability to deliver the way we like. Everyone should have our problems. We're busy. We're old. Active and that's a good thing. That's what we want. Rates are low.
Yep.
Turn times in my world, are actually better than most. I know I speak to a lot of my peers that work for other companies, and they're actually impressed with our turn times, and we're good with it. But with all that being said, it's a market that is going to get better. It's to the point of what everyone's been saying, and anyone who was buying a house for the past 3 months that wasn't able to go out is now slowly starting to go back out. So we know what that means, right? Open houses are going to be more busier. There's going to be more contracts being placed. There's bidding wars already. We're seeing that. So multiple offers, and that's good. It's a healthy market. It's a robust market. So it's going to be everything that we would want it to be. The difference is it's now just a little bit more compressed. So
what does your team look like to be able to handle that type of transition? Like when you get an order or you talk to an agent and you're meeting with someone, what does that process look like? What does your team look like?
Well, the team is the same players, and it just requires you to be a little bit more of a well-rounded player on the team. So by that I mean, where I would just typically originate a loan, put together a good upfront package, and give it to my processor. I now have to do more, and that's okay. But it's all hands on deck. Any loan that comes in, it's being touched and worked on by a lot of people. More than normal. You're having 2 and 3 people touch the loan to make sure that we are getting everything. It's just harder to get an employment verification. So you're not going to get an employment verification from a company the first time through.
Yeah.
It's going to take, and you maybe have heard this from other people too, right? So you in normal times, you send an email, someone's full-time employed working at a company, they send you an email back in 24 hours. Yep. Well, now you're not getting that email back. And so you need to follow up because the person you were originally reaching out for is on furlough.
Yeah.
They're not there. And there's another person. So you got to keep digging, and it takes more than one person in your on your team and in your system to track that down, repetition over repetition. But anyway, there is one thing I want to talk about that I think is important. It keeps coming up, and I think if it keeps coming up for me, then it must be something of consideration for realtors.
Yeah.
FHA and conventional. I've had in the past 2 weeks more than enough people ask the question about what's the difference between FHA and conventional. And there are contrasting differences. However, in the context that I'm about to share, there's really not a big difference.
Yeah.
First-time home buyer, primary resident, minimum down. What's the difference between a 3.5% FHA or a 3% conventional? So as a real estate agent, someone who's going to put an offer in, whether you're receiving this offer or you're presenting the offer, there is a negative connotation with FHA. There's a stereotype that, again, I understand, but I don't know why in today's market, why anyone would be concerned with that. Because if you have a minimum down loan, conventionally or FHA, and an appraiser goes to a property, and there is some form of an obsolescence, a bathroom that's not finished, a handrail that's missing from the front porch, paint that's chipped off the side of a home, a water stain that's in the ceiling in the attic, or some sort of moss that's overgrown and taken over the side of a garage and it looks like the roof is a little set. It doesn't matter if it's an FHA or conventional. Both of those loans are going to require for additional consideration, whether it is a full repair or it is a letter from a contractor to say that it's fine.
Yeah.
And literally in the past 2 weeks, I must have had 3 and 4 people, real estate agents, either on the listing side who I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know these people that are calling me, other than they have my letter of pre-approval that was presented on behalf of our mutual buyer and KW agent as an example. So they have the letter that's being passed along, and they're the listing agent. They're calling me up and they're saying, well, I just want to ask you some questions about this. I'm concerned that it's FHA. And it bothers me because it shouldn't matter, right? If someone's taken the time and allowed someone like me to run their credit, to process, to review everything, and I'm going to give the letter, and it's an approval letter, and it really shouldn't matter, right? So I think it's a good takeaway for a lot of people that when you present the offers, be a little bit more informed about it and speak to it a little bit, because there is still on the receiving end, whether it's a homeowner that thinks they know FHA from 20 years ago, or a realtor that's in the business a long time that thinks that they know FHA from 15 plus years ago. There's no difference in the form of that approval. The house needs to be in a certain order and look a certain way, regardless of VA, FHA, or conventional. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, no, that's really good. And I think, what you just said, if you're hearing it from a couple different people, then it's probably something that other agents are experiencing. So I think that's great to be able to give that information, because I'm sure, there's more than just a couple people that you've even talked to.
Yeah. So that's it. That's my little Mortgage Monday tip.
Well, no, I think that's great. And I think it's good that we're keeping these nice and, concise and to the point. And I think that was a good little nugget, and I appreciate you and everything that you do.
You got it.
Awesome.
All right. So next Monday, I want to try to have another guest, because I like when we have people on there of relevance. I was trying to find somebody, but couldn't work out the schedule. But I'm liking that theme anyway. Since we lost Mary Beth, I don't know where she went. She's disappeared on us.
She's been doing the MCA role.
Huh?
She's been doing the MCA role while Lisa's out for a couple weeks. So she's been really knee deep in that.
Well, tell her I said hi.
I will.
Right.
I'll definitely see you next Monday. Have a good long weekend.
Yeah, man. You too.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye, John.
Bye. See you guys.